Michael Irvin exonerated? Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here on this Saturday morning. This is it, guys. This is the last weekend of the NFL season. And just like we did last year, we'll be doing the Zoom call today, 5 o'clock Eastern. We'll be here talking about football, talking about the Dallas Cowboys. You know, last year we started that because it was basically kind of a bitch fest. We were disappointed the season was over. We were disappointed with the season. And we had a space to fill because football was gone. Now, we're going to continue it. We actually continued that throughout the year. So if you are a channel member, if you go to the community tab, I will have a link so that way you can be part of the conversation as we figure out what's what and who's who on this NFL season. So on to Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin, who has lost at the moment his time with the NFL Network and ESPN. Little quick background story on this in case you've been like, you know, the UFO over Alaska and hadn't gotten the news. Michael Irvin, staying at the Renaissance Marriott in Arizona, was doing some taping on Sunday, had a few drinks, came back to the hotel, apparently had an interaction for less than a minute with a hotel staff person, took pictures with some fans, went back to his room, didn't think anything more about it. Hotel security comes to his room and says, "You've got to go to another hotel." And he's like, "What's going on?" And talked about there's a tape and so on. And next thing we know, NFL Network had pulled him from their telecast. ESPN had pulled him from theirs. And then Michael Irvin had gone through. He said, "I don't understand what's going on." He said, "You know, I had a couple of drinks. I came back to the hotel, had a conversation, never got physical, shook hands and went about my business and went back to my room. Next thing I know, my livelihood is in jeopardy." He sues this person as well as the hotel for basically defamation of his character for $100 million. Then we now have witnesses come out that are saying, "We saw this. This all took place in the hotel lobby. This was not anything that they could see that was anything." And so this is where we are here. Now, again, the way the criminal system is supposed to work is you are innocent until proven guilty. For the NFL Network and ESPN to make a decision on something that there is no police involvement. There's no police involvement. There's no police report. There were no police called. Only allegations from a person for something that was out in public. Now, we don't know what that interaction was or anything like that, but from what we're getting from witness reports, it doesn't sound like there was anything. All right, so let's go to TMZ here, where they've interviewed two of the eyewitnesses. Let's go to the tape.
What happened? You were there. Yeah, so I was at the bar, and I was there with two buddies of mine. We were having like a business dinner, and we looked across the bar and saw that it was Michael Irvin, which was really cool because I grew up watching football. I'm from Philadelphia. And we offered to buy him a drink. So, you know, I told the waitress, I said, "Hey, can you buy Michael a drink for us?" Michael declined the drink, but came over and said, "Thank you, I have work early tomorrow morning, I can't tonight," all that kind of stuff. And he could see, you know, I had my phone open for a picture. So he said, "Do you want to take a picture?" I said, "Absolutely." He said, "Let's step outside. I can't take a picture inside the building," or whatever it was. So we took a bunch of pictures outside, you know, a little after 11 o'clock, I guess it was. And when we walked in, you know, we walked back to go into the bar. He went straight to go to his hotel room And I guess somebody that worked there, I don't know if it was a waitress or a bartender, came up and said, "Oh, hey, it's Michael Irvin." And he said, "Oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm Michael," shook her hand. And the crazy part is it was like a 30-second interaction, maybe it could have been a minute, guys. I didn't really think much of it because it was just fans kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I woke up, you know, that ended, he went up to his hotel. I woke up, I guess, this morning and saw this thing that said, you know, Michael Irvin, like sexual assault. And I was like, God, I just took a picture with that guy. I can't believe it. And then I read it, and it was from the night that I was there, and I was like, this is baffling. Because I saw it, and I never witnessed something like that happen before.
So what you said, she could have been like an employee of the hotel?
Yeah, she had a uniform on. So I don't know if she was a waitress or a bartender, but she was just in that lounge area or whatever. It was a crowded bar.
And it literally, like, what was the, like, optically, like, you're looking, it was, what happened? Like,
yeah, so I'm sitting, so we're standing right here, and so she was at kind of at the corner where the bar was, came around the corner and said, "Hey, Michael Irvin." He said, "It's nice to meet you." We shook her hand, and it was about a 30-second interaction that was jovial, like a fan interaction, and that was it. And then he went, and she went back to work.
Just from your perspective, like, there's no way anything of the nature of, like, yo, you're cut from all the broadcasts. That doesn't even make sense from what you said.
It made that's why this morning I felt sick when I saw it, because it was the first time I was ever, you know, first-hand experience where something like that happened that was just fabricated. It was a totally normal conversation, and the bar was, you know, relatively packed. Like, it was a quick conversation in a crowded area. He went on his way. I never really thought about it again, and she went back to work. He went upstairs, and then when I read that he was like taken off of or canceled from like the NFL Network or whatever, it just was like mind-blowing that happened so quickly off a 30-second conversation where it was normal. No, I didn't get it, so.
Wow.
No.
I appreciate you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Any message to, like, Michael? You know, you got to meet him and everything.
No, I'll say this, man. I'm from Philadelphia. I grew up. Michael was, you know, our enemy, right? But he's super, super, super nice guy, and that's why I felt like I needed to say something, only because he's a good dude, and to have that happen and have your, like, livelihood or your career taken is crazy. Like, it's not fair. So it was worth coming out.
Okay, so that's one of the interviews that we had, you know, where people are like mystified. Now, he's an Eagle fan, so you can't say that, you know, Eagle fans typically are going to do something nice for, per se, a Cowboy. But this whole thing is, it's kind of, I feel like this is kind of like what happened with Odell Beckham on the plane. Odell on the plane, sleep in the seat, you know, ready to take off and stuff, that the flight attendants kind of overreacted, you know, oh, his pants are down and, you know, he's incoherent and this, he's asleep. Dude been partying. He's on the plane, just, you know, because personally, I like to sleep through a flight because it's so cramped up in there and stuff. It's just like, I just want to get through this, and seems like sleeping is the quickest way to go. Some people take medication so they don't get air sick. Who knows what it is? But that whole situation, when you heard on the news that, you know, Odell Beckham Jr. is incoherent and, you know, medical emergency and, you know, is being escorted by the police off the plane, and it was like the whole thing was blown up bigger than what it needed to be. Those people didn't need to be the plane. That stuff was crazy. Now, I don't know, because there's always three sides to every argument. There's your side, my side, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth. But right now, it seems like what's coming to light is more towards Michael Irvin's situation as opposed to the hotel and the accuser. Let's go to the other interview.
You right there when the interaction, like, that's kind of in question, kind of happened?
Yeah, 100%. So we just came back in from the lobby after taking like a group picture. So I was there with a few of my friends. You know, it was a bit of a work meeting. We had a really positive interaction with Michael. Group photos. I then got a one-on-one photo with Michael, which was great. I was at the back of the group as we re-entered the lobby. So I saw Michael. He was heading towards the lifts, and he gets called back by a young lady just to say hello. And
did you hear, like, exactly what happened? Or what was said?
It was a very
What did you hear?
it was a positive, friendly conversation.
Yeah.
They had a brief interaction. It was 30, 40 seconds. He kept his distance at all time. Stood about a meter away from her. They ended it with a handshake, and he literally turned around and went back to the lift.
What was anything like inappropriate said, or
No, not at all. Not at all. There was a little bit of laughter. Obviously, jovial conversation. Nothing untoward for me to actually take notice of what was going on.
So there's not even did she react in any? There's no way that she reacted uncomfortably at all.
No, not in my opinion. She turned around, after the conversation, she went back into the bar area or around the bar area, and everyone continued their evening. It was nothing that I witnessed that was untoward whatsoever.
Wow. So the thing that's crazy about the world today is, and again, we don't have all of the information, which is why we shouldn't be making a snap decision on something, or at least the hotel shouldn't be making a snap decision on something like that. They say they told Michael Irvin there's a tape. If there's tape or proof or evidence or something, you need to at least come out, as NFL Network and ESPN and make a statement and saying, we are not having Michael Irvin on here because of blah, 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 or something. But to leave him just dangling out here with no accusation, no arrest. We've seen people who have been in much more precarious situations where things have happened that are tangible, arrests or, court orders or police coming to their home and things like that, and not see the instant reaction, especially in this time of Super Bowl. This is time that you cannot make up. You can't go ahead and say, oh, well, we get you on the next go. No, this is right now his livelihood. And it seems like the ESPN and NBC and NFL Network are the judge, jury, and executioner. But that's not the way our system works. You are guilty until proven, you are innocent until proven guilty. They basically are saying you're guilty until proven innocent. And there so far has been no evidence of anything against Michael Irvin. And for me, seeing more of these people coming through and coming out and saying, no, this isn't how it is, it should be putting pressure on Marriott, who is an NFL partner, to get this out there and get in spin control mode to say, here's what really happened and we're innocent. Because at the moment, in the court of public opinion, I got to say, it's leaning more towards Michael Irvin. And we'll see as time goes on. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Michael Irvin did something or not, but at least as far as the evidence that goes so far, it doesn't look like it, doesn't sound like it, unless there was something else that transpired at a different time. I don't know. But that's what we got on that. And, of course, we do have the Super Bowl tomorrow. And, of course, we have our live stream this evening. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I got stuff to do.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the show for the sports report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about